code online, what we're going to do is go to a website called Codepen, but instead of being codepen.com, it's codepen.io. So what we're going to do is create an account here so that we can code together and everything is housed on the web, so it doesn't matter what device you're on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our browser. I suggest Google Chrome, and we're going to go to codepen.io. When you go to codepen.io, it's a great little coding website for you to be able to code HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which are three of the most common coding languages for websites. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sign up for an account. Now, at this point, hopefully on the device that you're on, you've already been in your Google account, so you should be able to just have this sync and save your password. So we're going to sign up with email, and when we click sign up with email, you're then going to use your school account. Please use your school account because then it makes it so that I can help you if you ever forget your password. So we're going to sign up with email, and then you're going to go ahead and type in your name. I suggest you pick your username being your email or your ID number for school, your email address being your ID number at students.cheneySD.org, and your password being your birthday. And then you're going to go ahead and submit this. Once you've submitted it, you should be able to then view the website. And of course, I don't know which screen it's on because I picked a million things. Here we go. And it should look something like this. So what we're going to do when we code together is we're going to create what's called a pen. Every time we code a new page, it's just a new pen. When we code a page in Codepen, so go ahead and click pen right here and join me. If you need to pause the video here, go ahead and do that while you set up your account. And what you need to do, most importantly, is you need to name it. So we're going to name this together. So we're going to click this little edit icon in the top left corner, and we're going to name this last name first. It's important that you put your last name first because then when you send this to me, I know who's this who's really quickly. And then we're going to put a dash, and we're going to put my first web page ever. All right. Then if you hit enter on your keyboard or click somewhere else, you'll be able to save that name. As we code along and make changes, like here, when we type in the HTML box and type hello world, because that's the first thing everyone ever types on a website, is you need to then save your work. So as you're going through, this little cloud is going to actually start kind of dinging at you and making little signs and turn yellow to show you that you need to save your changes. When you save your changes and I have your URL, things will refresh. So you can see here that hello world has popped up on our preview of our web page over here, and you've just put your first thing out on the web. Yay! Okay. But of course, we haven't learned any coding, so it is what it is at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and save this. And the second that you save this pen, I think this becomes important because it then has a little heart that comes here so you can highlight it in your pen so you can keep it. But then the other most important thing is that now you have an actual URL. It says codepen.io/your username/pen and then a special URL just for this pen. This is important because if you send me a code that is, or a URL that is codepen.io/pen, that does nothing for me. I cannot see your code at that point. So you need to save your pen and then copy the URL. As you're working through, if I ever ask you to share your pen with me, you're going to need to copy this URL and paste it. But at the same time, you also need to make sure that you save it because if you don't save your changes, I can't see your code. So just a little couple tidbits for that. What you're going to do at this point is you're going to take this URL that is special for you. You're going to right click and copy it. You can also use the keyboard shortcut, which I highly suggest you start getting very familiar with keyboard shortcuts because they are your best friend. And we're going to use them a lot because Photoshop and Illustrator are all about keyboard shortcuts to save you time and energy. So you just hold down the control key and press C on your keyboard. You don't have to try and hit them at the same time. You can just hold control and press C, and that will put that into your clipboard on your computer. Your clipboard will then allow you to paste it somewhere else. So if I open up a new tab here, I could right click and I could paste it, or I could hit Control V on my keyboard and you can see I've pasted my URL. You need to turn this URL into me right now so that I can see it. So you're going to insert this into the Pear Deck that this is embedded in, and so that way I can see your code as you're going through. And don't forget to keep saving.